Hey, Emily.
Hi, how's it going?
It's going.
Cool. Same for me.
Yeah. I'm just...
You just got back from vacation.
And I should still be on vacation.
I know. I desperately need one. I feel like I'm crashing.
I think I should take you to where I just was. Because
Yeah.
I want to go back and you need to go.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's a good
perfect. All right. Well, we can
Let's stop this episode and get on
just
the
get
plane.
on the plane. Yeah.
All right, cool.
Beautiful. What song have you been listening to?
This is really unfortunate for me. I've been listening to Beautiful Ghosts constantly the past 2 weeks, just because, and I'm sick of saying this out loud, but I'm so close to being done drawing all of Taylor's songs.
Just in time for 17 new ones.
I know. I've, like, over the course of the past couple of years, I've said that sentence out loud so many times, because I've always been almost done.
Yeah,
But
and then
this
she
time-
says...
Yeah, and then she's like, I'm convinced that's how she releases albums.
is when
I'm
Emily's
close.
almost done.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to need you to be on top of being almost done.
I know,
Okay.
yeah. It'll take me 2 years to draw the Tortured Pose Department. No, I have 4 songs left. 4.
What 4 songs?
I Don't Want to Live Forever,
'Kay.
Beautiful Ghosts,
Okay.
Renegade,
Okay.
and Eyes Open.
Okay.
Yeah. So movie songs,
Yeah.
basically. Which I'm done all of her albums, which is actually crazy. But
Yeah. Just extras now.
I've just got this playlist and I've been listening to 4 songs. And Beautiful Ghosts is just one of those songs I listened to one time and was like, okay. And now I'm listening to it all the time. And I don't know how I feel about it.
I can't say that I think I've really listened to that song.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's
maybe
not-
once.
No. Also, the Cats movie is now on Netflix.
Did you watch it?
No.
Yeah.
I should, to get inspo for the song, huh?
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
I think I've watched it. No, I know I haven't watched it, but I think we talked about how I just...
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
I don't really have a desire for it.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
I think the extent of Taylor's acting career should be her ass on the table during Tolerado. And that's,
Yeah.
you know.
She is dramatic, though. So
I know, and I love it. But
It's
I
amazing.
think she is dramatic and excellent in her craft and should
should stay in her craft. Stay in
that lane. Yeah.
Oh, man. What have you been listening to?
So I've been listening to Holy Ground
Period. Point blank. Period.
because
I was reminiscing just the other day. I mean, that performance, the surprise song
I'm
performance.
sick about it.
Yeah, it's pretty sickening.
I need, and I've said this once and I will say it again, I need
An album.
an album,
live album.
of the
Just the surprise song.
No, because I'm sick about it. And also, so the Eras Tour movie is coming to Disney Plus with 4 more surprise songs. If one of them is not Exile, I'm leaving the fandom. I'm not kidding.
It's
I'm
I
turning.
have a list.
It was leaked,
No, but it was the other songs that she recorded in LA.
right? There was more than 4 of them, wasn't it?
Not for the songs that she I Can See You, Death by a Thousand Cuts, Maroon, and You Are in Love.
She sang Exile in L.A.
Was it one of the first 3 nights?
Oh,
Yeah.
I hate her.
I mean, this isn't official, but I wrote them down because those are the other ones.
What is it again? Let me say it again.
Right here.
I Can See You, Death by a Thousand Cuts, Maroon, You Are in Love. I mean, fine, but that version of Exile is so bad.
I know. I completely agree.
Oh my God, why do you hate me?
Yeah.
But I think this performance of Holy Ground, last time she sang it on the guitar. And I liked it better on the piano.
Yeah, I think everyone was talking about it being better. It was that note change she did, or like whatever that was. The crazy.
There's something about sometimes her and the way she says a word in a song just really like,
especially when it's songs you've been listening to your whole life and then she changes it a little bit.
Yeah.
It's like earth shattering
I know.
and crazy. Did you hear that one live, quote unquote? Like, were you watching the live streams when she was in
No.
Tokyo?
I was on vacation,
Yeah.
so I was asleep.
No, waking up at 4 a.m. would not be worth it.
Yeah.
I kept, I would set an alarm for 6:20 because the surprise songs were at 6:30. And then I would watch the live stream, but she would always still be on the 1989 set, and I'd fall asleep during it. And then, like, I'd wake up and she's on Midnights, and I'm like, well, damn.
Did that happen
Just
every time?
missed It happened twice. Yeah. The one time I completely slept through it, and the other time I was able to listen to the surprise songs, but I was like laying half asleep listening to the audio of it. That's okay. I see all the videos in the morning. It's like not the end of the world.
That's why I was just like, it is what it is.
Yeah.
And Australia's going to be worse. I think it's like 4:30 our time.
Is it? I thought Tokyo was going to be the worst of them. I don't know though. Because I think they're like 12 hours ahead or behind. Ahead. So I think it would be like 7 or 8, 6, 7 or 8. I don't know.
But yeah. So I can't wait for her to get to the UK because it's going to be like 11 a.m. our time. It's going to be great.
Perfect. Can wake up to it.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, man.
Anyway, so we're just going to kind of chat about
There's so much has happened.
So much has happened in the first 15 days of the month of February.
Yeah.
And not really, honestly, the last 10 days, like start at Grammys to now, it's been 10 days and it's been just
packed.
I have whiplash.
I know.
I don't, just so much.
It is crazy to think about. Like, the Grammys were the 4th, February 4th.
Yeah.
Like, they seem so long ago, but
no,
like yesterday.
It wasn't even 2 weeks. It hasn't even been 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I'm scared. I'm scared. I'm scared of this woman and this life that she's living.
I can't wait for this year. This is going to be an interesting year.
It's going. I thought 2023 was a crazy year to be a Swiftie. Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I know. We're going to look back on this year, like, at the end of this year and be like, wow, we had no idea what was coming.
I know. That's the thing. So I think we're just going to talk about, like, from Grammys till today, right? That's what I've decided.
Oh, yeah, that's basically what I have on my thing.
So, the Grammys,
first of all, before the Grammys even happened, everything that was going on with, like, Taylor's website and, like, her socials and everything.
I know. Black and white, baby.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I'm like, so as I'm taking notes, because we do, like, a recap every month, and I'm, like, thinking this is going to be so important, or like there's going to be a huge build up, and it's like her website blacking out and like this error code coming up wasn't even like the biggest thing that happened that day. It's just so great. It feels like irrelevant now when you think about it, you know?
I don't even know. I just am like, what is happening?
Yeah.
I missed all of the stuff that was happening before the Grammys because I had a shoot, so I was there.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
So then I didn't see really anything until the Grammys had started, and was like looking, and I was just like, what's going on? And I was just very like, oh, it's Reputation, like Reputation. Like that was just it.
Yeah.
Was the only thoughts in my brain. And then when she came out wearing a white dress, I was like, this is weird.
It was a little confusing, for sure.
I was expecting something sexy and black, so I was just like, why are we wearing a wedding dress?
She never really wears white, right?
Never. She never. I can count the times on my hands that I've seen her in white, and like especially like all white like that, especially for a event.
Yeah.
She doesn't really wear white.
Yeah.
And so I was just like, huh?
I know. It's crazy because I feel like people weren't really discussing her outfit so much because we were all trying to figure out what was happening kind of thing. And she was just like throwing all these curveballs trying to throw us all off.
Yeah. And I just was like, what the heck is going on? And like, I was just so focused on how much I hated her hair that I was just like, this is all like.
The hair was pretty bad.
The hair was awful. And like, we did a live and I was like really going in on the hair in the live, like really, like I was really disappointed. I do feel a little bad about how harsh I was now because I did find out it was literally like torrential downpouring. So she probably,
but still,
yeah. But as a girl with curly hair, I should have been a little bit more lenient of the fact that it was probably blown out straight and the humidity from rain.
Guess, but I still
you can't control that. Unfortunately.
No,
I mean, I still feel like it was bad.
Yeah.
Even if her hair would have been straight, I still would have not liked it. But
yeah,
I was a little harsh. I'm sorry, Tay. I love you so much.
I know. Oh my god.
But
I thought for sure when she like changed her socials black and white Everyone's freaking out. When this error code popped up on her website,
Mm-hmm.
it said like 321 error 321 backend fetch failed. I was like, oh my god, it's a countdown. Like immediately, because in 3 days she was playing in Tokyo, and we all always thought she was announcing Reputation in Tokyo.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, this is just her way of like counting down to it. Like something's gonna happen tomorrow, and then the next day,
Right.
and then it's like she's gonna come out in all black or something, and
Yeah.
leading up to like the show.
Yeah, like this is gonna happen today. Tomorrow the social media gets wiped.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Which very
so
well
on and so
maybe
forth.
could have been her plan. I don't know, because she had said if she didn't win anything, like she was gonna announce the album in Tokyo.
Yeah.
But so I don't know if she was counting down. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know either.
That was just so crazy.
By the time I had seen it, it was a 501 error code.
Oh really?
Yes.
Interesting.
So I still was like, what is
Like what is happening?
what is happening?
People were finding like secret words in the code.
People, yeah, were going through the coding of the website. I did see that, and I was just like, you're so much smarter than me.
So much smart. That's why I like to sit back and watch other people do it.
Yeah.
And like just keep scrolling Twitter, because there's always a new update, like every
Mhm.
couple seconds. Everyone's just like unscrambling the word that says red herring, and then we're like, what's a red herring? Like, is she hinting to Reputation and that's the red herring, or is like that whole thing was insane.
I did see, so then she announces the album, and then, so this is crazy because she announced the album and the next day she announced the title tracks.
Mm-hmm.
And months ago, the title tracks for this album were leaked
Yeah.
in a TikTok comment,
And the title.
and they were right.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember seeing that and like literally laughing at it. Like,
Mhm.
you're crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Dead Poets Society, or whatever I keep calling it the Dead
Oh my
Poets
gosh.
Society, the Tortured.
Poets
Department.
You got it. So we'll get there someday.
Yes, we will get there someday. But that whole thing, I was like, she's not gonna name an album that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, all her albums are one word. Speak Now, the only exception. Well,
Yeah.
and Taylor Swift, but what?
Yeah, I know. I know that.
And that same person said that Reputation's coming out in September,
Yeah.
and now I believe them. And I also would like to know how they know.
Me too.
Like, who
Someone said it's Lana Del Rey.
I'm dead. That's funny.
Because their account's like gone now, and the
Yeah.
comments are gone.
Bye. Taylor said,
It
"You're
is so
done."
crazy. They did get one of the tracks wrong though, and people are like, "Oh my gosh!" Like Taylor must tell people the track names, but like change one for every person she tells, so that way
So
she can
knows.
see.
She knows who it came
Mhm.
from. What was the one they got wrong?
If I had a track list here. Oh wait, I do have a track list here. I think. I don't remember.
She would do something like that,
Yeah.
or maybe something
I
got
don't remember
changed.
what it was.
It's also
That's true.
possible.
It could have been like an alternate title. It could have been.
Mm-hmm.
I forget what it was too.
Yeah.
I should have wrote it down.
Crazy.
But yeah. So wild.
Crazy. But then again, I could see her changing it because now people know to look towards September. She's like, you thought September is late for me though. September, I'm like, okay, so then are we not getting both re-records by the end of this year?
Who knows, right?
So then
Who
that prompts me to think, if we're not getting both re-records by the end of this, so okay, maybe Debutation isn't as crazy as we thought.
knows? Right.
That's my
Right.
first thought. My second thought is, she's extending the Eras Tour into 2025, and then it will end in
And
2025.
it will end with debut and everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was my first thought too. When I heard the September thing, I was like, huh.
Because I would like to know, and I should have maybe looked at this before we started talking, what the timeline was between Midnights and Speak Now, Taylor's version. Right? Because that was the next
Mm-hmm.
thing that came. Like, how
Yeah.
much time was between those two? I'm going to
Well,
look
it
it
came
up
out
right
in
now.
July.
Well, that came out in July. When did Midnights come out?
October.
October. So October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July. So 10 months.
September is not 10 months.
No, it's
from now.
not 10 months.
Interesting.
I have so many questions.
I do too.
I have so many questions for this
I'm
woman.
hoping it'll like kind of make sense when we hear the album, because I'm just thinking like,
Well, this is Joe's 13th tape. I mean Joe's tape for her
Joe's tape.
13 reasons. I'm not kidding.
yeah, that's why assuming it's going to be about her relationship with Joe, like a breakup album. And I'm also assuming, I could be wrong about this, I'm just assuming it's going to be like a slower, like it's not going to be a big album.
I don't think it's gonna be a pop.
I don't think there's going to be many bangers on it. Who knows? There could be. I'm always like, the aesthetics are giving me like more folklore. So with all of that in mind, I'm like, well, maybe she won't try to promote it or push it. Like, it's truly just like another thing that she kept writing and wanted to like put out.
Yeah.
You know? So then I'm like, okay, maybe you don't need to do promo. Maybe you can put out a re-recording like right after.
Yeah. I think, I also wonder if maybe the relationship with Travis is pushing her to want to close the Joe door even more. Yeah. She's like, I need to put this album out. I want to put it out. I want to like close this chapter of my life.
It's Jover.
It is Jover. It's been Jover, but now it's
definitely.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The cooking of the turkey is among us.
We'll see. I mean, she has shows in August, and then doesn't she take a break? I think she's off in September.
Yeah.
So, also, the whole thing with Kanye happened in September, which I feel like is a great time for Reputation to come out.
Yeah, that makes sense. I just think that if we're getting a re-recording in September, we're probably not getting another one this year.
Unless everyone who really wants her to put something out on her birthday decides to put out Debut on her birthday.
It's possible.
Because some people are still stuck on that. Like, she needs to release something on her birthday.
But do you know what makes me happier than anything in this whole process?
What?
That stupid 212-day theory is out the window.
I feel like they're still trying to prove it a little bit.
The 212 days have passed.
Well, okay. But there's still, like, I feel like the theory was very much going off of, like, not necessarily the order of the re-recordings, like, days like that, but it was like, oh, she announced this on this day, so 112 days or whatever from, you know what I mean?
No.
Like, I feel like it was very, like,
I don't know.
Like, there wasn't really a pattern to it. It was just, like, if she did something major, that would count toward the...
But was it on the day that it was supposed to be that she did something major?
It has been so far, I'm pretty sure. Not, like, major, like, she announced...
I don't know.
Like, the movie on streaming or something.
Oh.
You know what I mean? I don't know. It is still a crazy theory, but respect if you believe it. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't actually know that much about it. I don't know what day was supposed to be. Whatever. I don't know. But
this is random. Do you feel like the Tokyo fans got gypped a little bit with an album announcement?
I'm not gonna lie. If I was a Tokyo fan, I'd be a little salty.
Yeah, because she like straight up told them.
I know.
Like, why would she do
that? Said that?
Yeah.
I would have been like, oh, all right.
Yeah.
How do you feel about people being mad that she announced at the Grammys?
I think you're stupid.
Because so many people are like, that's like getting engaged at somebody else's wedding.
I literally tweeted that exact thing. But I was more so in the mindset of not that she's taking the attention away from the other artists, but she took the attention away from Midnight's because Midnight's one album of the year.
Gotcha.
And so I was like, this was supposed to be a night to celebrate Midnight's, and now we're talking about her new album kind of thing. But I also don't think she expected to win album of the year either. So it wasn't like
she was genuinely shocked she won album of the year.
Yeah, she was.
Like,
she messed up the handshake with Jack.
The look on her face was
and Jack's face.
Jack's face was arguably funnier.
Yeah.
He was like,
he's like, are you serious?
He almost was like, this is she read the wrong name. Like Celine wanted, or yeah, it was Celine. Yeah, she wanted you to win. That wasn't.
Yeah,
wrong. Like it was like it was almost like somebody told Jack somebody else was gonna win, and then they said Midnight's, and she was like,
yeah,
they were both shocked.
It was so funny.
And I've seen Taylor fake being shocked before. That wasn't that. She was genuinely shocked.
Absolutely, she was shocked. But I don't know. I think it was a little crazy when she announced it. They panned to like the other stars in the audience, just like sitting there like deadpan looking at her.
The hateration in that room was like, crazy.
I get it, but at the same time, like she is the biggest artist right now, and they are her competition, and they like are sitting there thinking about like maybe they're putting out new music, and it's like it's really hard to compete with Taylor these days.
Yeah, it's like
whether even if you're a fan, if your job is also to like compete with Taylor, it's tough.
I know. And you could just see everybody's face in the room was just like, not again.
Yeah. This
like hyper productive era that we're in right now with her is it's crazy. I feel like part of it is the new label and them like encouraging it and like you can do whatever you want. We don't care. Like just genuinely like whatever you think is the best call is like what we're gonna go with.
Yeah.
Which I think that like has helped with like why she is so hyper productive right now, but because I feel like Big Machine would have been like, no, you can't be putting out this much stuff.
Right.
Like it's too much.
Right.
Whereas
They didn't trust her vision.
Yeah,
either,
UMG
really.
is just like, go
Do
piss,
whatever you
girl.
want.
Do whatever you want.
And I think the pandemic like affected it too, because she said like, I'm not gonna wait to put out music. I'm just gonna do it when I do it, because it doesn't need to be as planned. And
Right.
Like, and she's really sticking to it.
She's doing the damn
I know
thing.
she has a plan, but like, I don't know.
Well, because Folklore, Evermore, Midnights. Now so we're getting 4 albums in
4 years.
4 years. Plus re-recording. So
7.
So she's put 7 albums out in 4 years, which is more than she put out in the first 10 of her career.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
It is crazy. I mean, to be fair, the re-recordings, like, the songs were already written.
Right.
But still.
But you still have to record, like, you still have to show up and record them.
And promote them and do, like, all the... Yeah.
It's shocking.
Yeah, it is.
Again, this kind of stuff, like, if you would have told us a year ago, think about a year ago from right now. The Eras Tour had not started.
Facts.
She was still dating Joe.
As we know of. At least.
Yeah, like, like to our knowledge, she was still dating Joe.
Right.
She had only put out Fearless and Red.
Yeah.
And we had
Evermore was the last album.
We had just had Midnights at this point a year ago.
Yeah.
Think about everything that has happened since a year ago from today.
It's really crazy. And it's stuff that even Taylor herself like probably didn't.
No,
predict.
because if you would have told me a year ago today that Taylor Swift would be at the Super Bowl next year, I would have been like, yeah, okay, you're crazy.
You're like, no, she turned down that opportunity to
100 times. I'm like, she's not going to go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And then if you would have said, no, she's going to be, I would have been like, oh, she's performing at the Super Bowl. That's weird. I'm shocked. And then if you would have said, oh, no, she's going to be in a suite as a guest, I would have been like,
with her parents and all of her friends.
And her brother and his girlfriend. Like, I would have been like, you're crazy. Okay, next. Yeah. Let alone all the other. Like, it's just insane.
What a life we've lived.
What a life we've lived, truly.
And I really hope that this time next year we're looking back on this year being like,
what a life
if you would have told me.
No, seriously.
Taylor Swift owned an island.
No, because in a year she's going to be like pregnant or something. And we're really going to be like, what the hell? She's like pregnant on the Eras Tour still doing the whole
Jesus
thing.
Christ.
Doing the damn thing.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. That would... And the thing is that would be extremely shocking. I know it's going to be something more shocking than that. So she gets married on the Eras Tour.
Oh my
wedding
Lord.
On the stage.
Jesus.
And announces a new album at her own wedding.
Oh my God. I can't.
It's so outlandish, this life.
I wrote down some like, I don't know if these are fun facts about the new album. Just like things I saw people tweet. So April 19th is the day of the American Revolution.
Oh yes, I've been seeing this. The Boston Tea Party.
Was it on this day?
Or no, it was the shot heard around the world. That was on this day. Yeah. It will be the shot heard around the world.
It really will. That'd be so funny if she named a song that. April 19th, 2023, last year, was the day that she went to dinner with her friends, and then the next day they all unfollowed Joe on social media. Yep. Another fun fact, this isn't really about the album, but Post Malone has Travis's signature tattooed on him because he lost a bet during the last Super Bowl and had to get Travis's signature.
That's hilarious.
Isn't that so funny?
Did you see like the videos of him at the Super Bowl after party?
Of Post Malone?
Uh-huh.
No.
Oh my God, they're so cute and funny. He's just like dancing and vibing. And at one point, he's a huge Cowboys fan. I don't know if you know this. But
I did. Okay. I did,
and he dies on the Cowboys.
He was wearing a jersey to the Super Bowl.
A jacket. He had a jacket. And Brittany Mahomes comes running up to him. He's like standing up right by Marshmallow or whatever. She comes running up and she's like, she has a Chiefs sack. She's like, put it on. And he was like, one song. I'll put it on for one song. And so like she like helps him like put it on, and he did. He wore it for one song, this like Chiefs jacket, and it was so funny.
Oh my god, he's so funny.
And
He's
you know
cool.
what? I didn't even think about this till after the fact. Like literally the next day, I'm like, oh my god, Post and Taylor were in the same room. They have a song coming out together. Like, what is happening?
Yeah, isn't that crazy? Because I feel like sometimes we'll see her like going into the studio the same day as other people. I'm like, oh my god,
Right.
could they be? And we've never ever
I've
had
heard
the rumor
anything about
of
them.
Post
Two
Malone.
of them. I can't wait to hear that song.
It's
I
gonna
love
be-
Post Malone.
Yeah,
I'm really excited.
yeah, he's really good. It'll be very.
I just
I'm
don't. I'm like,
excited
how
about
are
it.
their sounds gonna mix? Like, what is happening here?
Yeah, I don't know. We'll find out.
Oh my
I thought that was so funny. I'm like, I wonder if she had recorded or written with him like before she even met Travis. Like this whole time he's got a tattoo.
Invisible string.
The invisible string is black at this point. It's not even invisible. I mean, oh my
Yeah, that is crazy.
yeah.
Could you imagine? I could just imagine like her singing and be like, "What is that?" Oh, it's Travis Kelce's
Right.
signature. Like,
She's like, who?
no, seriously. She's like, "Oh, I've heard of Jason Kelce because of my dad." But
Right. A
who's
year
Travis?"
later, she's like
making out with him on national television.
Yeah.
She is the NFL's princess.
She's everyone's princess.
She's certainly mine.
Mm-hmm.
Oh god, keep going with your facts here.
I just have one more, and it's probably the one I should have read first. But I'm sure you've heard this one about Joe's group chat, his WhatsApp group chat.
Oh my god, yeah.
He's got a group chat called the Tortured Man Club with
Aw.
like 2 other people in it.
Poor
There's, like,
baby.
Paul. Oh, poor baby,
I
poor
feel-
guy.
I feel so bad. He's so tortured.
Yeah, and it was funny because this was like
Have you seen what was said to the Daily Mail about this?
from his sources.
Yeah,
Yeah,
his
But-
mom.
his mom.
That's his sources. His mother.
I remember because people like as soon as she announced the name, they brought up the fact because this was an interview from probably like a year ago with him,
Mm-hmm.
where he had like said that was like their group chat name or whatever,
Yeah.
and so people like immediately thought of that, which is crazy because how do you have a memory like that? How do you remember these things? And everyone's like, it's got to be like, it has to be about him. This is definitely like making fun of his group chat.
Mm-hmm.
And then he comes out with this Daily Mail article
Yeah.
with all these
So,
sources.
It said, this is what, yeah, whatever. Joe has not said one word about Taylor or their breakup and has been completely respectful of her. An insider, his mom, told thedailymail.com exclusively. It is undeniable that the name of her upcoming album is a reference to Joe's WhatsApp group chat. So he knows.
So also like why are you telling, whether it's a source, whether it's him, whatever,
Yeah.
why are you admitting that? Like, oh, it's very obviously.
Yeah.
Like, stop bringing attention to it if you don't want it, like.
And then it goes on to say, Taylor knocked him for the name of this when they were together. She didn't want people to think that it had anything to do with her. So he spoke out about it, and she was like, of course, bothered. The insider continued, Joe has no reason to believe yet that she's going to diss him or their relationship. And babe, for that, I'm going to tell you, you are in for a rude awakening.
Yeah, we'll see. It's going to be bad.
I think
gonna
it's,
be really
I
bad.
think it's going to be bad. I think it's going to be rough. Because another, I don't know. I'm going to read this to you. This is from Reddit.
Okay.
It says, obviously I can't prove this, but the juice I got from an industry insider on Alwyn's side is that she broke up with him via a very short email. They had been looking at houses in Chelsea/Fulham before she goes on tour. She goes back to the States, gets an email saying they're in different places, and she is ending it. He assumes that she had been hacked, but she would not answer any phone calls. Then her team got in touch with a list of assets to be split in an NDA agreement. Told if he did not sign the NDA, he would never get to speak with Taylor again. He signed it. They had a 30-minute phone call. Show's over, folks. Happened after the first couple shows of the Eras tour. And then this same person says, very sudden on his side. Last he saw, they were looking to buy a family home, talking about children attending school in the UK. Her and Travis have a much more business-minded relationship than her and Alwyn did. Perhaps her desire for a partner who is as comfortable with making their private life public as Travis is suits Taylor's ambitions more than a partnership with Alwyn, who really knows. Yes, the breakup was sudden and not at all relatable for us normies. She's operating in a different stratosphere from all of us, including Joe.
That is actually so fascinating to me.
I just could see it going either way. And
Yeah.
a tweet that I read that I'm like, yeah, this is like also how I could see this going down, because okay, so I have actually never mind, I'm not gonna get into that.
Okay.
This somebody said, why do I feel like if the email is even real, it's because they had been broken up, but he was in denial, thinking it was a break. So the email was to be very clear, but I highly doubt she would end a seemingly happy 6-year relationship by email. Have y'all not heard Exile?
I know, it's crazy.
So
Crazy.
I was talking to Emily about this before we started recording. I feel as though if you, obviously, this is all speculation from songs and just like what we do know about the relationship. I think their relationship started very much as like a victim savior complex ordeal. I feel like she was going through a really hard time. He didn't care about that. And he felt as though he came in and saved her from that, and like loved her anyway, and like whatever. I mean, we can see hints of that all through Reputation and so on and so forth. So I think like that's like kind of how things started. I think the first few years were very good and great, and she wanted to live a more low-key life. It worked really well. I think the pandemic happened, also was forced into living a low-key life. Everybody was living a low-key life at the time.
Yeah.
And I think that when we started to come out of that, and she was like wanting to also come out of that,
Yeah.
it was hard because she was changing, and he was like, this isn't the relationship that I signed up for. This isn't how things were.
Yeah.
And now this is how they are. And it just wasn't working anymore.
Yeah.
And I think there was probably moments of on and offness before an official breakup. And I think that could make sense of like, and if you just even like think of like, you're losing me, like I woke up every morning with storms in my eyes, like there was clearly issues before they like actually like dead serious like broke up for a long time, like to be done forever. So I could see there being like, oh, she's gonna come back, she always does, kind of energy.
Yeah.
And then her being like, no, I'm serious.
No, yeah, there's something missing here.
And I do feel as though, I said this to my friends when this was all first getting leaked, that I wonder if she left him an ultimatum and said, I want you to show up for me in this way, whether that be coming on tour or whatever it was, and he didn't do it. So that's when she was like, okay, send an email, I'm done.
Right. No, that's a good point.
I do feel as though that could be possible.
Yeah.
That she was like, I have asked many times, I've told you many times that this is what I need. You aren't willing to do that. I'm not willing to go back into hiding. Here's my ultimatum.
Yeah.
And you didn't show up.
You can only take so much. That's not to say they never had conversations about, like, even like the Great War, talking about almost breaking up.
Yeah.
And like making it through that. Like, I'm sure there were so many hard conversations that they had to have, and he just never followed through with
I
or she didn't follow through. It could could have been both ways.
And obviously, like, I'm just inclined to be on her side about things. So I just could, and I've seen other relationships play out this way, where there's issues, you have a conversation, they promise they're going to change, and they don't. And I could see that being the case many times. And she was like, this is my ultimatum, and this is it. Like, if you don't do what I'm asking you from this point forward, you've said you were 10 times in the past and you didn't change. I'm done.
Yeah.
And that I could see, if this whole email thing is true, I could see that being how it played out. I honestly see that more than him not understanding they were broken up.
Yeah.
Of like her like having like this is the ultimatum.
There's no way it came out of nowhere either.
I don't think it came out of nowhere.
That's crazy. Like, this is also reminding me of the time when Joe Jonas and Sophie Turner broke up, and one of them was saying like they found out about the divorce like through the media. I'm like, there's no way.
And it's like, even like that comment, like she's operating in a different stratosphere than us normies. I'm like, she's still a human being. And also, I feel as though as quickly as she's like jumped into this new relationship, shows me that she was checked out of that old one long before it ended.
Yeah.
That she had been done and checked out, because no human can move on from a 6-year relationship that, well, I mean, I'm sure people actually can move on that quickly, but to me, I'm like, if you moved on that quickly, you were probably checked out for a long time.
Totally.
Like, you weren't blindsided by this breakup. Like,
Yeah.
you knew it was coming. You had already started to heal before it happened.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's crazy to hear her say things like, this is the most romantic thing that's ever happened to me. Talking about singing Love Story in a club.
Exaggeration. Like,
Of
I feel like
course.
that's
Of course
something I would say.
Of course it was an exaggeration, but it's just like, it's crazy that even that kind of exaggeration would kind of come out of her mouth in this way. Like, it's just crazy.
Mm-hmm. I hope we get so many answers.
If this album doesn't give me the answers that I need, I'm gonna call Taylor up and she's gonna tell me what went down.
I've never been like, I mean, we know this. I don't appreciate the Joe Alwyn hate for the very reason that you were explaining. Like, the relationship was what we assume really good for her in the beginning, and I just think that she changed as a person, and I don't think
Midnight Rain.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't know. I have a hard time believing that like something happened to break them up. I really think it was just a gradual.
I believe like I think her wanting to go back on tour and just be in the spotlight
and she knew
again.
that Everstory was going to be huge. Like, she knew she was going to be talked about again.
Yeah, and
she really needed the support, I think.
Yeah, and I think she. I think it was just a case of like, we're just in different places, genuinely.
Yeah.
And like, I'm sure if kids was something he wanted, he was probably like, I don't want you to go on an Eras tour. I want to have kids. Like, this is what I want. And she was like, I might want that in the future. Again, this is all speculation. I might want that in the future, but I want to do this right now.
Mm. Who knows?
Because as I made the joke earlier, she can't be pregnant on the Eras tour.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's just not possible.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. And I don't think Joe's a terrible person. I just think that they grew apart in different ways, and that happens in relationships every single day.
Yeah. Even though some of the things he's been saying
I
allegedly
think the
to
way
the media is like a little crazy.
I think the way he's acting now is, it's giving, the way that he's acting now is giving, she told you this was coming, you didn't believe her, and now it happened and you're pissed off.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
And I also think like his whole conversation of like, I don't want her, she better not be writing songs about us kind of thing is like, did you not know who you were in a relationship with 6 years?
But he also, like, genuinely, he might just be like kind of stupid and not really understand what she was going through in that relationship. Like, it may have been really tough for her, and like he just wasn't understanding why it was so hard to be with him.
Yeah.
And then to like hear all these bad things about your relationship when you didn't think it was bad.
Yeah.
I'm sure it can be very like
jarring and hard, but I'm also like, you knew what you were signing up for, babe. You were okay when the songs about you were good.
Yeah.
And even then, you didn't really seem to care too much.
Mm-hmm.
And you were okay when she was giving you a writing credit when you probably didn't deserve it.
When you won a Grammy for, something you didn't deserve. Oh, well.
I like.
Insane.
I don't know. It is insane.
And we also just looked, too, and Conversations with Friends is no longer on Hulu.
It hasn't been on Hulu for a while.
Oh, okay.
Because I looked a while ago.
That's crazy. Those jokes will never get old, though.
Those are my favorite.
They're funny.
They're so funny when people are like, you didn't see Andrea and Scott showing up for a Conversation with Friends. I saw one that was like, Andrea and Scott never went to a club in Vegas for a Conversation with Friends party.
True.
I was like cracking up. I do love those jokes. The Super Bowl. The Super Bowl
was crazy.
The Super Bowl was crazy. Did you watch the game?
I did.
The last quarter was crazy. It was one of the craziest.
The overtime?
But even before the overtime, like the whole fourth quarter and the overtime was just genuinely insane. It's great football.
It's like, of course, like, I'm Team Taylor. Yay, go Chiefs. But at that point, like, I did not care who won. I just wanted the game to be over so bad.
Oh, I was very into it.
I was like, can somebody just, like, no one was scoring.
I know.
And it was just so, I don't understand the rules of football. I still don't.
Okay.
It's not something I'll ever learn, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
And it's just what's going on?
I don't know all the details, but I know the, like, general concept and, like, the general thing. Like, I don't know what some of the things are. Some of the things that happen, I'm like, I don't know what just happened. I have to ask someone. But for the most part, I understand. And this was crazy. I think it was the first time a Super Bowl's ever gone into overtime.
Really?
Or the second time or something like that.
Oh, wow.
It was like very not very often do football games go into overtime, and really even rarer in a Super Bowl. So, and the overtime rules had just changed for playoffs. So this was the first time the overtime rules have been used, the new ones in the playoffs.
Interesting. Okay.
So I don't know exactly when they changed, but I know it was the first time. I learned that on New Heights. I was just listening to it. Thanks, Trevi.
Selfishly, I what's funny too is like we've seen time and time and again, like when Taylor Swift is on your side, you don't lose. Like
Period.
There's just no, she doesn't lose anything.
They are coming for, if they stay together, they'll win that third Super Bowl, because if they win 3 Super Bowls in a row, they'll be the first team to ever do it.
Which would be
that is Taylor Swift energy.
Like that is Taylor Swift energy. That's literally like, I feel like she just manifests.
She
like,
just makes everybody around her great.
It just bends in ways for her that we'll never understand.
She is God's favorite.
She is, and it's so crazy. So the whole time I'm watching this, I'm like, I know they're gonna win. Like even when they were losing, I'm like, they'll score again. Like
they'll come back around.
Yeah, they have to, because Taylor Swift is on their side.
At one point, the score was 10-13, and I was like, if this game ends this way, I'm done. I'm out.
Yeah. I was waiting for like the difference to be 13 between the scores or something, like crazy like that. But I'm like, and I know I wanted them to win too, because I wanted like after party stuff with her.
And I said, I kept saying during the game, I'm like, I just want them to win because I want her to be happy.
Yeah.
She'll be sad if they lose. I don't want her to be sad.
She can't be sad. That's exactly it. No one wants her to be sad, so the universe. Although I will say, like, seeing the 49ers players, like, the confetti falling on their head, like.
And it all, like, sticking to their faces because they're sweaty. It was sad.
It was really sad.
It was really sad.
People on Twitter were like, now I know why I don't watch sports. Like, seeing all the sad people.
I know.
At the end of the game. It's awful.
Yeah. It was tough. Poor guys.
Did you see that the Super Bowl became the most watched telecast since the moon landing?
Yeah. And that's the power of Tay Voodoo. Did you see the picture of her? She's like standing there, and it looks like she's just like holding her hands her eyes because it looks like she's praying.
Yes.
And somebody's like, "This is her enacting the Tay Voodoo." Like this is her
literally caught in the act.
Yeah. She said, "Here you go, Tay Voodoo. It's time." I was cracking up at that.
Oh, it's so funny.
Yeah.
You know what I was also cracking up about when she was pictured, like Lana Del Rey was like right under her box.
She's like reaching.
She's reaching out. I'm like,
and then Lana came into the suite. And did you see the video of her and Kelly Taylor? Lana and Kelly Taylor getting literally trampled when they won. And then there was this picture going around on Twitter of Lana's arm in a sling.
I believed it. I saw that and I go, Abby. I showed my sister. I'm like, she got injured. Like, look at this. And then I opened the tweet and read the comments. And everyone's like, I did move.
Oh,
no one believed you.
I was literally crying at that. Like, so funny. And then Kelly posted and was like, me and Lana survived, guys. Don't worry.
That's so funny.
So funny.
She literally did, like, get pushed over.
But, and then did you see, I love Kylie Kelsey. Like, she is I just love her. And did you see the videos leaking of her standing she wouldn't watch the game at the end. She was like, I can't, like, she's like this, like, whatever. She's like, my superstition started kicking in. I can't watch the game. No. I can't watch the game. Can't watch the game. So she was literally standing on the outside of the suite, like, with Taylor's security guard. Like, just like looking away. She was in the back of the seat, like looking at the wall, and he's like kind of looking over and he's kind of laughing at her. So it was like funny to see this, like, it was so funny.
Oh my god.
Because everyone was like, where is Kylie Kelsey in all these pictures? Like, she was in none of them, and it's because she wouldn't watch the game.
She is so funny. Everything I learn about that whole family, I'm like, you guys,
they need a show. They do. Keeping up with the Kelseys. Come on,
honestly,
for real.
Yeah.
Could you imagine?
So great.
That would be so amazing. I'm sure they've gotten the offer.
Yeah.
But it was kind of, the sweet thing was kind of funny because both her parents were there and they were not seen in like any pictures. And Austin was there too.
Yeah, we didn't see them like at all.
I know.
And I kept seeing like pictures afterwards.
And Ed Kelsey too. He must have been standing at one point. I did see a picture of Ed and Scott together. So the three of them and Austin and his girlfriend must have been like in the back corner. Like,
I'm like,
just
how big was that suite?
They're pretty big. And Travis paid, if you didn't hear.
Yeah.
$1 million.
Good for him. I heard it was like $2 million.
I mean,
Either
period.
way,
He's shaking
it's
his
like
ass on a Pfizer commercial.
Yeah. Exactly. 2 million is nothing to him, I'm sure.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know that his net worth is that high.
I don't know. I'm like, football players make too much money. So.
Well, I used to have that same mentality. I do think sports are like, I think baseball players are actually worse. Baseball players
Make more.
Oh my God.
Oof.
Baseball players get like $50 million contracts.
Holy.
You're not seeing that in the NFL has
No.
caps. The MLB does not.
Interesting, because I feel like football is so big.
And
Bigger.
I always agreed with that. They get overpaid. But I saw somebody talk about this. It actually might have been Kylie Kelsey on the Amazon documentary that they did. And she was talking about, I think it actually was her. I could be wrong, so I don't want to like misquote her. But the person was saying that they're like putting their bodies on the line every single time they step on that field.
True.
And I never thought of it that way.
Yeah.
Of like, and it is a great form of entertainment. We pay our entertainers paid
it was
very, very well. So, and I just like never really thought about it that way. And I was like,
and
yeah,
they do
that
like
is
retire
true.
they retire young.
Yep.
So like they just
They're
stop
making
working
their
after,
money
like,
for
30.
right.
Yeah. No, you're right.
And I never thought about it that way. I mean, I do still think they are grossly overpaid, but I was just like, oh, I never really
No, it does make sense.
thought about
when
it.
you think about, like, again, Taylor Swift, like, she's also an entertainer.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost the same.
It is. It's very similar.
And she makes a lot more.
A lot more.
Yeah.
And
I guess
that's
the only difference is, like...
That's why when I was seeing, like, Donna Kelsey came out and said, like, oh, I think I'm going to be in the stands. I'm like, Taylor is not going to let your ass in the stands. Shut up.
Mm-hmm.
Don't say that.
She probably just didn't... I mean,
She
yeah, when
doesn't
she
want
talked
to
about
assume.
that,
Yeah.
she was like, probably couldn't say anything. Like, she's not...
Right.
You know.
And she's not going to just assume somebody's going to pay for her to be in a suite. But I was just like, come on, Donna. You know she's not going to do that to you.
At that point, I feel like the suite should have been paid for. She would have known, you know?
Maybe. That's
don't know.
possible. I just can't believe this was, like, the most expensive Super Bowl that there's been ever. Like, just, like, even, like, the regular, like, in the stand seats were, like, insane.
Were they?
Yeah, it was really
I
expensive.
saw a TikTok of someone asking people how much they paid, like, for their ticket, and I'm assuming it was all resale, but people were like, 13 grand. Like, I paid $6,000 for my seat. Like, holy.
I think the cheapest seat in the arena for cost was $649.
Wow.
And that was like nosebleeds. Like, and that was at cost. Like,
Mm.
not resale. I think that's what I saw. Could be wrong. Don't quote me, but
I mean, I believe it.
if
But
the
still.
suite was $2 million
Yeah.
and they're not buying resale suites, that's not how that works.
Resale suites. Travis Kelce buys a suite and then resells it for $5 million.
Yeah. Crazy. I wonder how many people are allowed to sit in the suite. I mean, still that price is...
Right, because she kept having people come in. Like,
Yeah, Paul McCartney.
Carney kept... Yeah, like...
Please.
What?
Crazy.
Oh, my God.
I just am still in shock
Mm.
about the whole thing. The after party was excellent. Loved that content.
That was actually
And
insane.
I was talking to my friends when we were on because we were on our trip still, and I was just saying, like, I wonder, like, what does Taylor listen to? Does she listen to herself? Like, I'm like, I feel bad that she can't listen to her own music. I mean, she can, but like, she can't experience it the way that other people can. I'm like, and like seeing her sing her stuff like in the clubs was like hilarious to me.
It is really funny.
And like her breaking out her love story choreography was funny. Like, I'm just like,
I genuinely wonder all the time, though, like, if her popular songs like Love Story and You Belong With Me, she knows those are her songs and she wrote them, but, like, do they feel like her songs to her because they're
Yeah.
everywhere?
yeah,
Like, is it one of those, like
you
hear
dissociate
it?
from it almost. Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I agree.
And I would love to know, like, how she feels when she hears those songs in public.
I know. Yeah, and she was cutting it up. They played Antihero too. She was.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like funny, and it's like, would they have played that if she wasn't in the room? And the answer is probably yes. Maybe not You Belong With Me, but
Yeah, I feel like probably still. I don't know. Because the Chainsmokers were
I know.
DJing, weren't
Yeah,
they?
it was the
And I
Chainsmokers
feel
and
like
Marshmallow.
And Marshmallow, yeah. And one of them said something about how they added in a song to their set list, and I think it was Love Story or something. They were like, oh, or we added it in early or like something.
Yeah, it's just crazy. That moment is like, it has to be a moment in her life where she's like, this is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because at the end of the day, she's still a person, and I think sometimes she probably looks at her life and is like, How did we get here?
How did we get here?
How
I
did
know.
yeah.
I'm interested to see like what the future will be like if she stays with Travis. I mean, he's not gonna play football forever, but they're both so famous. Like, what if she wants to go back? Because I'm afraid we're gonna go back to like another 2016 where everyone hated her because we're like on the verge of it.
Well, even a few days before the Super Bowl, people were starting their shit
Mm-hmm.
about the like, whatever. Like, she didn't acknowledge Celine Dion. I'm like,
because everyone just
she
wants
was
a reason
over.
to.
Yeah, you're just looking
It's
for.
like she's so big right now, and everyone always has such positive things to say that it's like people just want to be different and say something rude, or they want to like be right about something.
My fear is that after this, like, really extreme hyperproductivity, we're gonna get like a really long,
Like a break.
like, right? Like, there is gonna be a time where it's jet lag isn't a choice anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's like it is gonna hit her of like, oh, I'm a person and I need to sleep. I'm like, I feel like she like she almost feels manic like
Oh no.
these past 2 years.
Yeah, post Eras tour life
Yeah,
is a mystery. I just keep thinking about Harry Styles going on tour for Love on Tour for like 2 years. And I mean, his show was not as intense as hers is, and he didn't have as much going on for sure. But he's been like literally hiding for like a year. Not hiding on purpose, but you know, like taking a break. I'm like, I'm
scared. I would like to see I would like to see her go on vacation or something though. I'm like, you need a trip, girl. Take your ass to the Bahamas.
I was just about to say she needs to go to the Bahamas and repost all of
all
those
the pictures with Calvin, with Travis.
Yeah.
That would send me to the next universe.
Oh my god.
As long as she stays away from the British Virgin Islands, I don't care.
Why?
Because that's where.
Oh, the Harry Styles?
Yeah.
Broke up with her?
Yes.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
No, she needs to go and then wear a blue dress on a boat.
No, because that would mean her and Travis are breaking up. And that's not what I want in this life.
No, she's reclaiming.
Oh, she's reclaiming
trauma.
the blue dress.
Yeah. The blue dress.
Yeah. Yeah. It was funny because I keep seeing people being like, she's never posted a boyfriend on social media before. And I'm like, I saw this tweet. It was like, there's somebody saying that. And somebody tweeted it and said, we're losing the ancient texts.
You literally are.
And I was literally hysterical. I'm like, no, y'all weren't there when we got to go on vacation with her and Calvin Harris.
I saw
you weren't there.
Like, I don't know if it was a Reddit comment or something, maybe it was a TikTok comment. Someone was like, I'm a new Swiftie, and can someone explain to me how she wrote the lyric "Karma is a guy on the Chiefs" when she didn't even meet Travis until 2023?
I saw this and I was like, this is a joke. This has to be a shtick.
Like, are you trolling?
Yes, right, you can't be being serious. That's just like, I saw somebody in a Facebook group post, I can't wait for the vault tracks on Folklore.
No, that's a joke.
No
way.
I'm like,
well, have you ever heard Evermore? Those are the vault tracks from Folklore.
Literally.
She literally gave them to us already.
And it's like things like that I'm like, you have to be kidding. You have to be. Because I don't want to live in a world where you're being serious right now.
It's crazy.
It is crazy. This life that we live is crazy.
Yeah. The next few months are going to be crazy.
I know.
Man.
I think the second half of this month is going to be crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I think Travis will be joining her in Australia.
Yeah, you know what's going to happen, though? He's going to join her in Australia, and she's going to do the shows, and that's it for the month, really. You know? I don't think anything, she's not going to drop any bombshells.
I don't know. Do you think we might get a single?
I hope not. I'm over lead singles.
Yeah.
Because I love listening to an album all the way through and not having any bias. Anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I love Anti-Hero so much, and if that would have been a lead single, I think I wouldn't love it as much. I don't know if it would be overplayed. I don't know. There's just something about learning all of the songs at once.
I don't think she'll do a single. She didn't do a single for Midnights.
Yeah. For her, though. Like, for other people, I like hearing singles. Like, I want a little snippet of your album. But for Taylor... And there's no way I'd be able to avoid it, either, if she released one.
Oh, yeah, no. If she releases one you're listening to it, you have no choice.
No. Although, now that her music is not on TikTok...
True.
Maybe I could avoid it.
True.
I would just not hit play on
Spotify. Until Spotify plays your life and accidentally.
and
adds it to the up next. And
that's true. It probably would, honestly.
Yeah. What a crazy first half of the month.
You know,
I don't even know what to call this. It's just a little
bit of everything.
a little chit chat. A chit chat, get ready with me, if you will.
Ew.
That's what I'm calling this episode. Wow.
This was fun.
This was fun. We haven't seen each other since before the Grammys.
Mm-hmm.
So
A lot more to say than I thought I did, I guess.
That's what always happens. Just
That's
like when we
true.
got on that live. Because after she announced the Tortured Poets Department.
Good job.
Thank you. We were like, I was like, do we have to do an emergency episode? Like, what? And Emily's like, I don't think we have that much to say. Like, like a live will suffice. We talked for 45 minutes. I'm like, okay, that was an episode.
Because it's like something happens and I feel like I just stare at the wall with no thoughts in my head. And then you're like, let's talk about it. I'm like, I can't. Nothing to say. Like, I think I'm processing.
I'm just such a chatty Cathy.
Maybe I'm more extroverted than I thought I was. I don't think I have thoughts to myself when I'm alone. But when I'm with someone who also has thoughts, then my thoughts are thoughtsing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your thoughts are thoughtsing.
That's what it is, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. Well, I feel better. I literally texted Emily and was like, I can't wait to get him and talk about this. Like,
Mhm.
that's serious.
You just gotta get it out of your system.
And here I am.
Good.
Chatting it up. Oh, gosh.
So fun. Thanks for listening.
Thank you for
Appreciate
listening
you.
every time. And we will see ya next week.
See you next week.
And like and subscribe. Thanks, besties. Bye.